General Hospital really landed itself in a quagmire this time. Although its exit for Sophia Matson's Sasha and baby Daisy was made a little easier to swallow by the fact that they'd be staying with Robert, the plot twist comes with two big problems. Sasha fled Port Charles with her newborn because she feared that the mysterious happenings surrounding the wee one were a direct result of the brewing mob war between Daisy's grandpa Sonny and Sidwell. Sasha doesn't know yet, but we know that it was Willow who was trying to scare Michael's baby mama. That begs the question, what happens when Willow's actions are uncovered? In theory, that reveal should immediately bring Sasha back to Port Charles. No danger equals no reason to stay away. And since Matson is focusing on other projects, it doesn't sound like an imminent return is in the cards. Would the show recast as it did so successfully after Chad Duell left as Michael? Or would it make up some other excuse to keep Sasha away from Port Charles? That remains as much TBD as when everyone will learn what Willow was up to. By the time General Hospital is more than ready, raring to bring back Sasha, her portrayer may be tied up elsewhere. You've got to figure that she's a hot commodity. Not every actress can take a character who was brought on as part of a con, remember Sasha pretending to be Nina's daughter, and turn her into a beloved heroine. Matson pulled that off, to the point that we were shocked that the soap didn't bar the doors to keep her from leaving. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. General Hospital recap for Wednesday, July 23rd, reveals that Drew Kane will suspect Willow Tate is behind Daisy Gilmore's stalking, while Jason Morgan decides he needs to grill Liesl Obrecht. At Drew's place, Nina Reeves quizzed him about the baby stalking situation now that Sasha Gilmore Corbin and Daisy had been driven out of town. Although Nina suspected Drew since he had motive and access, he denied targeting an innocent baby and guessed it was connected to Sonny Corinthos. At GH, Willow initially acted like Portia Robinson was lying about the blackmail and Drew's plan to make Michael Corinthos look like a drug addict. However, Willow eventually accepted that if Drew thought this was the way to get her children back, she was willing to do whatever it took. Willow made it clear that Drew was the only person she trusted at this point. Later, Portia summoned Nina and gave her updates on Drew's drug addict setup for Michael. Nina was horrified, so Portia thought that was an appropriate reaction, unlike the one she got from Willow, who was unfazed. At the Metro Court pool, Jason told Carly Spencer about thinking he saw Britt Westbourne at the airport, though he wondered if maybe it was because Rocco Falconeri put her on his mind. Carly insisted Britt was deceased, but Jason pointed out that he came back from the dead and considered whether Britt might still be alive. At the hatchet throwing range, Obrecht gave James West some throwing tips and commented on how much he looked like Nathan West. Damian Spinelli was also there for Liesl's bonding time with James, so he eventually contacted Lulu Spencer to give her a heads up on Obrecht's return. Lulu summoned Dante Falconeri, who was getting nowhere questioning Sonny at the PCPD. Dante joined Lulu, who gave him news on Liesl coming back to Port Charles. Lulu and Dante were determined to warn Rocco away from Obrecht, so they headed to the pool. As for Spinelli, he wound up talking to Drew and Willow about some wedding details since Maxie Jones was out of town. Once Drew was alone with Willow, the wheels started turning regarding the Daisy stalking drama. Drew tried to casually ask what Willow was up to while he was away on the 4th of July, but she was obviously his top stalking suspect. Back at the pool, Rocco told Jason about emailing Obrecht and meeting with her in person to ask Britt-related questions. Obrecht popped up and ultimately made a selfie with Rocco right as Dante and Lulu arrived. Lulu and Dante flipped out, but Rocco defended Liesl since he first got in touch with her. Although Dante and Lulu had their reasons for standing against Britt and Obrecht, Rocco clearly didn't share them. After Lucas Jones rescued Marco Rios from the warehouse room he was stuck in, they had a happy reunion. Since Lucas remained furious with Sonny and Jason over the kidnapping, he met up with Carly and made his feelings crystal clear. Lucas warned Carly to never defend Jason and Sonny to him again. Once Carly reconvened with Jason and realized Liesl was back in Port Charles, she realized that couldn't be a coincidence. Jason found out Britt died in her mom's arms, so he said he needed to talk to Obrecht. At the PCPD, Jen Sidwell was careful about what he spilled to ADA Justine Turner out of fear for Marco's safety. Marco looked pretty banged up as he came into the police station with a bogus story about going for a walk, falling into a ravine, and smashing his phone. Marco then claimed that he had to change a flat tire and fell asleep in his car while resting his eyes. Once Marco agreed to sign a statement confirming all that if necessary, he rejoined Lucas in his hotel suite. Marco showered and let Lucas examine him before they hit the sheets together. Ada Turner still knew Sonny was guilty of kidnapping, even if she couldn't prove it. Although Turner thought Sonny was soulless, he argued that Marco would be dead if that were true. Finn Carr explained then the circumstances surrounding the moment when he first met Kelly Thiebaud, and it was hilarious. On the heels of the startling revelation that Gio is Dante and Brooklyn's son on General Hospital, Rocco learned that Lulu didn't actually give birth to him. Dr. Britt Westbourne had stolen one of Dante and Lulu's frozen embryos, implanted it in herself, gave birth to a child she named Ben, and passed him off as hers for a time. Rocco's got a lot of drama to navigate as Kelly Thiebaud is returning, resurrecting the late Brit. Finn Carr, Rocco's real-world alter ego, had a discussion with Soap Opera Digest about this front-burner storyline. He explained that the revelation and Rocco's subsequent investigation into who Brit was doesn't diminish Lulu as his mother. I've been playing it as Rocco purely just wanting to know more information about Brit. The young actor didn't know if or when Brit and Rocco would eventually meet on screen, but their real-life encounter was like something out of a sitcom. He explained that on one particular day, he was exiting the studio after finishing up scenes as Thiebaud was entering. "My hair was all messed up. I had it in a ponytail, I think," he stated, explaining that he was picking stuff up that he dropped when she happened by. When Carr realized who she was, he thought to himself, "Oh no, this is the first time we meet?" The reason for his concern was that he was worried that he appeared to be a lunatic, because I looked a little deranged. Thiebaud didn't comment on his appearance and simply greeted him, with Carr returning the greeting. "I'm the person you stole all those years ago," he informed her. She was excited to learn that piece of information, and Carr was happy to finally see her in person after Rocco's been talking about Brit for a while. "I hope I have scenes with her," he happily remarked. Carly may soon be on the warpath. Carly is in for a big surprise on General Hospital. What will she do when she discovers her daughter is a WSB agent? Unbeknownst to her mom, Jocelyn has become a spy. Brennan recruited her into the WSB after Dex was murdered. She is no longer just a college student. She is working undercover with her handler, Vaughn, to uncover what Professor Dalton is really up to. Anna has already figured this out and has let Dante in on the secret. Carly is distracted by other things, namely her romance with Brennan. She has fallen hard for the WSB bureau chief, but has no idea what he is really up to. Carly has also been busy with Michael's custody battle and the fact that Sasha left town with her newborn grandchild. Her focus has not been on Joss, but that is about to change. Carly has a hot temper, and it will be ignited when the truth comes out. Jocelyn has been lying to her mom for months. Her trip to Easter Island was really a training session for the WSB, and she has been playing a dangerous game with Dalton since she returned to Port Charles. Mother and daughter have always been very close, so Carly will be hurt that she was in the dark. More importantly, she will be worried about her daughter's safety. Joss could easily be harmed or even killed working as an agent. Then there is Brennan. How will the Metro Court owner feel when she figures out that he went behind her back to recruit her daughter? Her reaction will not be pretty. She is going to feel betrayed by the man she fell for, and there may be no coming back from that. Carly could be done with him for good. The truth may come out sooner rather than later. Let's hope nothing happens to Joss. If that's the case, Brennan better watch out, because Carly will be out for blood. What do you think will happen? Let us know in the comments section. We can't decide if it feels like forever or like it just happened, but believe it or not, Leslie Charleson has been gone for over half a year now. The General Hospital legend passed away back in January of this year. but Monica Quartermain is still alive in Port Charles, though the show has made it clear for months that she hasn't been well. We've been both waiting and dreading saying farewell to Monica on screen after nearly 50 years as an inextricable part of General Hospital. But while she's mentioned and has been ailing on the show, so far, Monica's hung in there. That, though, may change after Tuesday's episode. In it, Martin found a letter addressed to Monica, dropped under a chair in Drew's home that the kids had found and used for an art project. While Drew didn't seem all that interested in the letter, Martin was, because he wasted no time in reading it. We don't know who it's from or what it contains, but it's someone who knows Monica, and if they don't keep in touch, they at least keep tabs on her. Because about the only thing that Martin read after the initial greeting was that this mysterious person was sorry to hear that she's been sick for so long. After that, he trailed off, and curiosity changed to outright shock. We're going to learn some big secret of Monica's, that's for sure. Our best guess is it's something family-related from her past, as is almost always the case with these things in the soap world. A child she gave up long ago? Or maybe a sister? With One Life to Live's Erica Slezak joining the canvas, a number of folks have been speculating that she's tied to the story. Monica, after all, grew up in an orphanage. It wouldn't require a huge stretch for General Hospital to give her family we never knew about. But the point is, if they're going to be telling a Monica story of some heft, there's no longer any way of getting around the fact that Leslie Charleson has passed away. And that probably means that this will be Monica's farewell story, and General Hospital will finally lay her to rest. General Hospital spoilers for Thursday, July 24th, reveal that Scout Kane will have a mom-related question for Willow Tate, while Drew Kane gets a request. Curtis Ashford will also move forward with a betrayal plan, so there'll be plenty of excitement in Port Charles. Once Sonny Corinthos updates Carly Spencer on the situation with Jen Sidwell, Carly will ask if this means her family is no longer in danger. Of course, Sonny can't guarantee anything, especially now that Marco Rios is free. Sidwell went along with Sonny's demands to ensure Marco's safety, but he'll inevitably retaliate now that he knows his son is okay. Over with Kai Taylor, he'll find Trina Robinson and admit he'd give anything for them to find their way back to where they were. Although Kai will make a heartfelt plea and try to repair his relationship with Trina, she won't be able to get past his betrayal. Speaking of betrayals, Curtis will be ready to break the trust Nina Reeves placed in him. Nina told Curtis about her past passionate encounters with Drew, so he's about to use that secret to his advantage. When Portia Robinson pushes Curtis to play whatever ace he has up his sleeve, Curtis will move forward with his plan. Will Curtis ultimately be the one to blab to Willow and make her see what a sleazeball Drew is? In the meantime, GH spoilers say Nina will seriously consider coming clean to Willow herself. After Nina tells Ava Jerome that things are so much worse than she thought, she'll insist she can't stand by and let this go on any longer. However, Nina may not get the chance to be honest if Curtis beats her to it. No matter how it all goes down, Willow seems poised to find out about Nina and Drew's sizzling sessions before the week's over. Until then, Alexis Davis will have a favor to ask Drew. That could involve keeping Sam McCall's memory alive, despite Willow's new stepmother status, or something along those lines. As for Willow and Scout, they'll have a heartfelt conversation ahead of the wedding. Scout will wonder if Willow wants to be called Mom, so Willow may assure Scout that she'd never try to replace Sam or take that title away from her. Finally, General Hospital spoilers say Elizabeth Baldwin is in for a shock when she runs into Liesl Obrecht, so stick with us for more news on their reunion. General Hospital spoilers hint Kelly Thiebaud recently broke her silence, confirming the character she'd be playing fan favorite Dr. Britt Westbourne on the ABC soap. Since it was announced that Thiebaud would be returning to the ABC soap, the show remained quiet about the character she'd be playing. Until now. Thiebaud revealed this during a recent interview with TV Insider, adding that she feels really lucky to have a role like Britt that she truly enjoys playing. The actress also stated that, "I definitely missed her. GH fans have felt the same way, Kelly." Britt met her demise back in 2023 when she fell victim to the Hook, aka Heather Weber. While her passing was as final as they get, it sounds like the GH writing team had their work cut out for them crafting a revival story. But Even if the Brit being alive arc is the cheesiest of cheesy storylines, fans will eat it up like an ice cream sundae on a hot Saturday afternoon, right? Anything to have the Brit back on canvas. General Hospital spoilers. Remind fans that during the Friday, July 18th episode, Jason Morgan was completely caught off guard while waiting at the Paris airport. While he was scrolling on his phone, a woman that looked like Brit walked by him. He immediately jumped up from his seat and tried to stop the plane she boarded on, but he couldn't. Jason was left feeling sad and reminiscing about good times that passed with his late gal pal. Still, as it turns out, she hasn't passed away after all, so fans need to brace for an explosive Jason and Brit romantic reunion. In fact, Thiebaud told TV Insider that, as far as story goes, obviously, I want Brit and Jason to get back together. She went on to say that she's very excited for Brit and Jason to pick up where they left off, as well as continue to grow as an actress. General Hospital spoilers promise plenty of plot twists as Brit somehow makes her way back to Port Charles, and fans find out what she's been up to over the past 2 years while she's been away. Not to mention how she escaped her demise after Heather's attack. Next on GH, it's Willow and Drew's wedding day, which will be filled with drama. Meanwhile, Michael confides in Christina while Lucy issues an invitation. In addition to Willow and Drew's big wedding day, General Hospital spoilers for Friday, July 25th, 2025, will also focus on Carly and Lucas having it out and a rattled Ava. Ever since Willow and Drew schemed to get married to help their chances at getting back Wiley and Amelia, we've all known that the actual day, if it happened, would be a hot mess. Teasers seem to validate our collective gut feelings. They suggest that Willow and Drew's wedding day will be filled with drama. What could go wrong? Only everything. Curtis could drop the reveal that Drew and Nina repeatedly slept together while Drew pined after Willow. Drew's machinations could blow up as well. Portia already told Willow how Drew is trying to blackmail her into making Michael look like an addict. This little ditty could still be part of the wedding day drama. And there are so many more juicy bombshells that could drop, including suspicions about Willow targeting Daisy and Drew being the one to prevent Willow from seeing Michael in Baden-Baden. So will this wedding happen? Or is it doomed? In addition to the wedding drama, Carly and Lucas have it out. No matter what Marco told the cops, everybody knows what actually happened. Sonny kidnapped Marco to use him as leverage to get Sidwell to do his bidding. Lucas is beyond over the Sonny effect, and he will, of course, let his sister know as much. It has quickly become clear that Lucas will do anything to protect Marco and stick up for Marco. Another brother and sister have a conversation, and it, most likely, won't be as loud and volatile as Lucas and Carly's chat. Although one never knows. When Michael confides in Christina, what does he have to tell her? This could be about how much he's going to miss Sasha and Daisy. Or maybe he's suspicious of Willow and thinks she could have been the one who messed with Sasha's mind. What will Michael have to say? General Hospital spoilers and updates for Thursday, July 24th. Tease Trina Robinson is holding her ground, while Alexis Davis has a frank talk, and Willow Tate and Scout Kane have a heart-to-heart. Carly Spencer will want reassurance during the July 24th episode, as she asks Sonny Corinthos about the danger to her family. She wants to know if his apparent agreement with Gen Z Sidwell means her family's no longer in danger. Lucas Jones was terrified that his boyfriend had become a permanent resident of the Pine Barrens, thanks to Sonny and Jason Morgan. But Sonny had kept up his end of the bargain, with Lucas receiving a key and a location to free Marco. Jen's, on the other hand, might be another story. They can hope the family is safe. Elsewhere, Kai Taylor begs to be let back into Trina Robinson's good graces during a clip for tomorrow's show, but a stubborn Trina stands her ground. He pleads with her, saying, "I will do anything to find our way back to where we were." But that is doubtful. Trina is fiercely loyal to her family, and Kai betrayed them and her when he ratted them out to Drew Kane. Chances are, Trina can never forgive him, even though he thought he was doing the right thing. Perhaps Stella Henry can teach him that Bible verse about not casting his pearls before swine, because in trusting Drew, that's what he did. Meanwhile, Nina Reeves will be beyond worried for her daughter during GH's July 24th show, as she cries and confides in Ava Jerome. Nina cries, "It's so much worse than I thought. as Ava stands and listens, likely feeling helpless. Nina just knows it was Willow who was going after Daisy Gilmore and scared Sasha Gilmore out of town. What's done is done, and there's no going back. But Willow agreed with Drew's blackmail of Portia Robinson. Willow completely trusts Drew, and he would be the only one who could steer her straight, and he won't. In the meantime, Alexis has a frank talk with Drew, and she asks him a favor. He seems to be receptive. Might she tell him she doesn't trust that Scout is safe with Willow? Or is she more concerned that she's not safe with him? There is much that has changed, and not for the better, since he used to have Scout coloring in his office. Alexis has considered suing for full custody of her granddaughter after Sam McCall's untimely death. She wasn't worried about her being raised with Danny Morgan and Rocco Falconeri. The problem started when Drew was kicked out of the Quartermain mansion because of his egregious behavior. In other news for tomorrow's show, Scout will have a heart-to-heart talk with Willow before the woman marries her dad. Scout asks Willow if she wants her to call her mom, but is that her question? Or is she clarifying what Willow wants? It's not been all that long since Scout lost her mom, the only parent she had when Drew was being held by Victor Cassadine. It seems like Scout may have adjusted to the fact that Willow is going to be her stepmother, or at least that's what the plans are. She will be Drew and Willow's flower girl in the upcoming wedding. Lastly, General Hospital spoilers note that Portia will be with Curtis Ashford in her office at the hospital during the July 24th episode, and she likely update him on what she told Nina. Willow didn't care that Michael Corinthos was going to be framed by Drew for opioid addiction if it got her children back. She told Nina that she didn't know who Willow even was anymore. There has been such a marked change, and not for the better. Portia is ready to resign her position before she cooperates with Drew's blackmail. She tells Curtis, "If you've got an ace up your sleeve, it's time to play it." The upcoming episode of the daytime soap opera General Hospital, set to air on July 24th, 2025, promises a cascade of dramatic developments and mounting tensions in Port Charles. As Scout Kane poses a significant question to Willow Tate, Drew Kane faces an unexpected request. A major betrayal is on the horizon as Curtis proceeds with a plan. On the other hand, Nina Reeves changes the course of a potentially major relationship as she holds her daughter Willow and decides to confess her past, a revelation that can also be made by Curtis instead. Elsewhere on General Hospital, after recent hazards, Sonny Corinthos updates Carly Spencer on Gen Z Sidwell, and Carly expresses concern about the family's safety. Additionally, Kai may try his best to rekindle his relationship with Trina Robinson, making it an interesting day in Port Charles. In the upcoming episode of General Hospital, Scout Kane and Willow Tate will be a central focus, as a poignant question will be tossed to Willow by the former. The questions will possibly be about sensitive family dynamics or future aspirations. This tender moment can highlight the developed role of Willow as a mother. On the other hand, Drew Kane might receive a request that can pull him into a new storyline or demand immediate attention, possibly establishing a platform for future conflicts or alliances concerning his political future within Port Charles. Apart from that, Alexis Davis may also come to Drew to seek a favor, pointing at a new legal or personal angle, which requires his assistance. Elsewhere on General Hospital, Curtis is ready to execute a significant betrayal plan. He may take advantage of closely protected secrets about his previous encounters with Nina Reeves and her past with her to-be son-in-law, Drew Kane. To achieve a profit, the secrets, if revealed, can seriously damage their relationships, and this may highlight Nina's weaknesses. This step puts Nina in an uncertain position as she considers whether she should reveal this to Willow and accept her past. Stress will arise as Nina decides whether to come clean, while the possibility that Curtis will reveal the truth before her calls for a dramatic confrontation. This may also lead to a significant shift in the mother-daughter relationship. Meanwhile, Carly Spencer is deeply concerned about the safety of her family in Port Charles since Marco Rios has been released from captivity. She seeks assurance from Sonny Corinthos, who provides an update on the ongoing position with Gen Z Sidwell. This conversation may outline the constant dangers faced by the Corinthos family, highlighting Carly's protective tendency as they navigate the dangerous underbelly of Port Charles. On the other hand, on General Hospital, Kai Taylor is seen reaching out to Trina Robinson, desperately hoping to mend their relationship. However, despite his efforts, Trina may be unable to overcome the pain of his past betrayal. This plot explores themes of forgiveness, trust, and the challenges of moving forward after emotional onslaught, leaving the future of their connection uncertain. Nathan West was mentioned briefly on a recent General Hospital episode. A fan favorite portrayed by Ryan Pavey, he only played the character from December 2013 to February 2018, but the fans still miss him. Pavey has been in several Hallmark movies, but hinted in 2024 that he might be quitting acting. While that might make some fans sad, it's clear through his social media posts that he's living his best life and enjoying himself. On Instagram, General Hospital alum Ryan Pavey shared a video with the caption, "Surfing for work on the west side of Oahu. Not your average 9 to 5. In the video, he explained what he meant, stating, "I did a film for Hallmark called 2 Tickets to Paradise, and there's surfing footage. And I remember when they brought it up, I was just like, I don't want to do the film unless I can't do the sewer." So, Fing. They set me up with the line producer a couple of days before we started to shoot. Kenny Burke, who's a local, lives there, surfed a whole bunch on like a surf date, which was very clearly like, this actor says he can surf. Make sure he can surf so he doesn't like drown in our film. As he spoke, we saw clips of him practicing surfing, and he explained that he and Burke did an incredible amount of it. He even got to go to the west side of Oahu, which is an area that only locals know about for surfing. He further explained that there were a few camera teams on rafts and jet skis that captured his sweet moves. "It just was insane," he stated, adding, "It's such a unique experience. That was amazing. I could spend half a day surfing on the west shore of Oahu for work. That was pretty cool." Former General Hospital star Ryan Pavey posted a later video that had some impressive camera work, showing off his surfing prowess. He wrote, "West Coast Therapy," and it was clear as he took his board and tackled the waves that he was in his element. The fans not only loved his video, but agreed with his philosophy, as @Deblin79 commented, "Ocean is so therapeutic. There's nothing like it." Likewise, @KKJMax agreed, responding, "Refreshes the soul." The General Hospital alum again shared a fun post, but this time, instead of surfing, it focused on his motorcycle riding. He asked, "What adventure should I go on next?" His former co-star Finola Hughes commented, "Go across India or Australia." The video intercuts between him talking and bird's-eye views of him riding, shot by a drone. He stated, "Some of my favorite adventures, and I've been on some really crazy adventures, have been on top of a bike. All the cliches that you've heard about motorcycling in some way, shape, or form are true. If you ride for long enough, you'll experience all of them yourself. You'll get to ride off into the sunsets. You'll get that feeling of freedom. You get that feeling of speed. They're all true. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many miles I've ridden. I always want more." The fans loved his high-quality video, and many made suggestions for where he could go riding. @Marilyn de Blasi summed up the collective fan opinion with the statement, "I love watching you on your adventures." Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. These two are a perfect match. Drew and Willow have both learned some shocking information about each other on the July 23, 2025 episode of General Hospital, but will their misdoings tear them apart or only bring them closer? After Willow hand-delivered an invitation to her wedding to Portia, the chief of staff took the opportunity to try one last time to get through to Willow. Her attempt at opening her eyes to Drew was to finally tell her that Drew has been blackmailing her, this time into tampering with Michael's test results to make it appear like he has an opioid addiction. While that bit of information should come as a shock to most people, Willow's immediate reaction was to ask why Portia would make up such a thing about Drew. Refusing to believe her, Willow continued blaming Michael for the chain of events that have occurred before leaving Portia's office. Meanwhile, Nina popped over to Drew's and accused him of being Daisy's kidnapper. He assured her that he had nothing to do with what's gone on with Daisy and Sasha, but Nina suggested the only person who could have gotten away with the threats is someone who could sneak into the Quartermain grounds. When Willow got home from work, Drew thought back to everything Nina said and decided to ask his bride-to-be what she did on the 4th of July while he was away in D.C. She spun a tale about falling asleep and being late for drinks with Nina as Drew began wondering if Willow was behind Daisy's short-lived kidnapping. Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.